I'm Bobby Miller. I'm a poet and a photographer, and today I'm going to be sharing the contents of my book Trouble Blonde with you. It's a collection of poems, short stories, monologues, and letters that I've done over a long period of time, over the last 30, 40 years. So before I get into that, I just wanted to invite you to come to the Poetry Slam that I host. It's the second Friday of every month, and the next one is March 10th. Poets can sign up at 6:30 to read. And the event will go from 7 to 9. It is at the Center for Peace Through Culture, which is at 137 Front Street in Housatonic at the Little Gallery. And the next one is March 10th, and the feature poet that day will be none other than the great Jeff Young. If you haven't seen Jeff read and you're not familiar with his poetry, I suggest you make yourself familiar with his poetry. He's a great American poet. So I'm going to, that's that, and let's see. So the first poem I'm going to do today, I'm going to read to you, is called For My Father on His Birthday. He was lost to the sensitive world the moment they brought him home from the hospital. Mother dead, giving him birth. 5 brothers waiting to hate the little murderer. The father, confused and in pain and filled with resentment, crippled by his own loss. Never any celebration of his arrival into this world. The painful remembrance of her passing, too much to bear. Not even a birthday card. By 9, school was no longer an option. Odd jobs and panhandling, a way of life. At 13, he drove a delivery truck, operating the brakes with a stick. A corner cot at home to sleep on. No gifts at Christmas. His clothes hand-me-downs to the runt of the litter. Street fights day and night, making his way into the world. A family jockeying for position, for power within itself. A house of men trying to outbutch themselves. No soft touches, no caresses on a feverish forehead. Off to foreign lands of war at 16, and killing Germans became a task. The boy, a man, grown now, and childhood became a bad memory of survival. Married by 21, having sons of his own, trying to find his way around new territory of love and caring. Be a man, he told us boys at 13. Watch your back. Trust no one. Good advice for paranoids and little soldiers looking for a war of their own. I found mine in him. I hated his butchness, his rough hands and bad manners. This Miss Thing wanted luxuries like silk and satin, all things soft and refined. We didn't speak for several years. He never hit me with his hands, but his words taught me how to fight. I once saw my little father, who was 5'2", knock out a man 6'4" with one punch. The man didn't get up, at least not right away. I never knew some things about my father until I grew up and moved away. And now when I see him, he kisses me and holds me, and I him. And I want to be the happy childhood he never had. And I want to love him in all his malevolent beauty, to hand him back all those missed years of mothering, to let him know the meaning of caring, to put these gay arms around his broad butch shoulders, and to set him free upon the river of forgiveness, and to celebrate his arrival into this world, and to thank him for mine. I also want to take a moment to tell you that if you are easily triggered by language or if you have children who are under 18 in the room, you might want to edit what you let them see. Though personally myself, I don't believe in censorship. Everything I know I learned as a child. At any rate, so I don't write about trees and flowers and beautiful handheld walks on the beach. I write about gay culture, our culture, a little bit about politics. This is called And the Circle Turns. These past 20 years spent in New York City in smoke-filled club after endless smoke-filled club, searching in the eyes of strangers for that one moment of orgasmic bliss, only to return tomorrow for more of the same. He said he'd love me forever, that no one kissed as good as me, that he would stay and leave me never, and then suddenly he's gone and free, and I am left standing in the sorrows of my closet, wondering what to wear that will show off my cute butt and big basket, and practicing my sexy smile in the mirror to set out on the hunt yet once again. I am tired and insane with the burden of the game and want no more to wait at the bar while nameless faces promise to return with drink in hand that pull me into dreams of hollow promises so well meant in the heated moment of a hard-on. And the circle turns and the circle spins, such tight little patterns we live within. And the circle turns and the circle spins, such tight little patterns we live within. And I can change my look and I can change my clothes and I can change my name, but I can't seem to change my mind. And still I stand at the gate, ready to enter the race yet again. And this is madness, and I am lost to it. And I want to stop and breathe and think it over and listen to the still small voice inside and wait for that inner guidance to steer me clear of myself onto a smooth sail down the river of realization, wondering if the dream of hot flesh and desire was as worth it as it seemed, or just a simple illusion like a paper flower crumbled under the footsteps of time. I can't even remember their names, let alone their essence. And I stand drenched in a rain of tears that wash me clean, and I am born anew in the womb of freedom, crying in the arms of my divine mother, "Oh, set me free from this fruitless search for perfection, for the time is now, if ever." And in the distance I see a shining light that, lo and behold, is it my liberation that has come at last after so long a journey? No, it is not. It's that redhead with the cute butt, with a drink in his hand and a smile on his face, and maybe this time, this one, maybe, and the circle turns. These are sort of not in any particular order, which I kind of have done on purpose. This is called Journey Home. There is but only time standing before us. There are winds yet to blow among men, tides to come in and go out, mountains to crumble, great oaks to fall, seas to swell and swallow the lost, dreams to be dreamt, dances to be danced, songs to be sung, and children yet to be loved, and for most, the longest journey to come, the return home. Home to the embrace of mother's arms, home to the heartfelt love of God. There's, two kinds of, there's poems are poems, but there's different ways to present poems. Some people read poems at poetry readings. Some people write poems that other people buy and read from a book or printed matter. And then there are performance poems that people learn as a performance piece for poetry slams, for instance. This is a piece called Big Mouth. It's about how much I talk. I can talk a blue streak. I can talk till you're weak in the knees. I can weave tales of wonder so long that children go gray, that straight men go gay, that silent, lonely grandmas seek solitude. I can talk the balls off the proverbial brass monkey till the cows come home and run out of milk, till the silkworm runs out of silk. I can talk the legs off the chair, the fur off the bear, the rug off the floor, the hinge off the door, the lace from a shoe. I can talk the stickiness out of glue. I can talk until you squawk, until you squeal, until you break down and get real. I can talk the spokes out of the wheel. Talk the legs off the... I can talk the color out of fall, the painting off the wall. I can talk the notes from the scale, the sperm from the whale, the petals from a rose, a model from repose, the window from a house, the cheese from the mouse, the picture from its frame, the gambler from its game, the arrow from its bow. Talk the pimp from the hoe. Talk the salt from the sea, the dog from the flea. Talk the I can talk you from that chair, talk the smoke from the air. I can talk the ink from the pen, the eggs from a hen, the thieves from their den. I can talk the toy from the child, the beast from the wild, the baby from the cradle. Talk the gravy from the ladle. Talk the ball from the socket, the coins from the pocket, the fuel from the rocket, the food from the table, the name from a label, the heat from the fire, the lie from the liar, the dark out of night, the fear out of fright, the sheets from the bed, the brains from your head. I can talk that wiggle from that walk. Talk the stalker from his stalk, the potato, the chip, the onion, the dip, the clam, the shell, the devil is hell, the fireman's coat, the voter's vote, the singer a song, the ping out of pong, the ice out of glass, the hipster out of his grass. Talk the cover off the book, the fish off the hook, you bet I can talk. Talk the knot out of the pine, the cork out of the wine, the honey out of the hive, the jazz out of the jive, the sugar out of the jam, the pork out of the ham, the foot off the shoe. Talk the la-la out of the ooh. Talk the smile off the clown, the tourist out of town, the bank into a lending. Nope. But this poem into its ending. Whew, I can talk. This is called Keep Your Mouth Off My Sisters. Sometimes you begin to wonder if it's a conspiracy of men asleep at the wheel, the way they spit out words at women they don't even know, that they will never know. And it scares me to think that compared to the things they say, what must be going on inside their brains? Because I want to scream at them. Hey, keep your mouth off my sisters. Your words cause emotional blisters. Did something happen at birth that caused this malfunction? Or did they learn it or earn it in some archaic male ritual like the medals of war, a gold ribbon for the best line? Are you daddy's little girl? Let me tear that pussy up. Ever had a tongue bath, baby? What's the matter, bitch? You a dyke? Years spent vomiting out abuse at women, and men still don't get it? I want to bend each one of them over and fuck the misogyny out of them, to wash their mouths out with my cock and let them feel the collective humiliation of women everywhere, to be unable to walk the streets safely without feeling like this week's special, pussy on a plate, served up fresh and piping hot, oh yum, and give me a six-pack to wash it down. Oh, you're the man, man. You're the man. You're the big man. You ever notice there's always two of them? They're never alone, like a coward's tag team match of sexual harassment. Does it make you feel like a man? Hey, man, keep your mouth off my sisters. And during the 80s and 90s, when we buried so many people to AIDS, I wrote this poem called Forget Them Not. So much time has passed since the first one left, since the first sign of pain, and still no gaining on this disease. So many stars have fallen and lost their places, their faces forgotten for now, and yet somehow there must be a way to restore them to mind's memory. Everybody has a friend that has come to the same end as the rest. It seems that the best have been taken. Where have they all gone? So many have left this world where we've danced and partied and twirled, and still here we go on, thinking only briefly now and then of their absence. But I can hear so many familiar voices calling out to me, forget me not, please don't forget me, forget me not. And when I try, I can remember. I can remember Cookie and her sly, knowing laugh with berbered fingers typing out tomorrow. And I can remember Antonio and his girls, drawn in ink as glamorous as they could ever be. And I can remember Costas with his lazy, crazy dolls doing a dance in my mind. And I can remember Andy giggling like a schoolgirl over the pretty boys standing in line to meet him. And I can remember sweet, happy Divine doing a disco march in time, and Gennaro Palermo doing a Vivian Westwood tango, and little Scott Fritz throwing some fierce fits. And I can remember Candy Darling dashing down Broadway to Dr. Starling's for her shots. And I can remember Jackie shouting at the taxi that she was a woman, not a man. Yes, I can. I can remember John Sex entering a scene when he was long and lean and just a little bit mean. And I can remember Klaus with face so white and clothes so tight that people actually stopped and stared in fright. I can remember Howie at many a door, cold-shouldering many more than he'd let in. And I can remember Halston and Victor and Eric and Eddie and Steve and Huck and oh so many more. I can remember them all one by one if I try. And no matter the pain or pride or fear that's inside, we must help keep their memories alive because they were here and they were all wonderful and unique. So before you go to bed tonight, say hi up there and promise to forget them not. This is called Memories of 1969. I can feel the cool breeze of the Potomac on my neck while walking up Wisconsin Avenue. I can hear the laughter from the pub. I can smell the dogwoods in my mind. Feel the rub of the times. Taste the long, languid boys with hair down to there, down to where, matching Afghan hounds, bell-bottoms and beads, love and peace abounds. Time stood still. The shrill of war, the march on the hill, the opening eye, the crack of the door, the sound of the time, 1969. I'm 17 and high on everything. The color purple accents everything. Hot pants and midriff tops, platforms and bangle bracelets, sun-blonde hair and lip gloss, top hats and daisies. The oozy scent of patchouli oils the air and prepares the senses for love, while beautiful boys like Lally and Ed, both barefoot and lovely, read poems by the armful till sunrise above. Tripping on acid and smoking the boo, lost in a daydream of wondering who we might be. 1969, and the world opened like a lotus before my eyes. For Perfidia. Miracles can happen, like the time I was a man that became a woman that became the man that I am. Did the heel fit, and the illusion of powder and pancake that is the reflection in the mirror that you stand before, awaiting her arrival? Not like the sisters who walk by night down by the docks looking for the rent from lonely lives of somebody's lost husband, afraid to ask for a cock, afraid to look in the mirror of themselves to see what they find, asking themselves over and over, who is the she in me? Who is the she in me? The gentle sway of hips that are connected to legs deep in hose and feet swollen in pumps, doing the Connie girl strut and the RuPaul stroll, causing heads to turn all up and down the avenue, lost in that lipstick high with dreams so full to bursting. I'm in a hormone state of mind. Self-induced PMS so bad it bubbles within, ready to burst forth at any easy moment up beside your head. The long corridors of suitors, pockets full, ready to worship, and the homage is paid in full. Lost in the ruins of a Disney dream where Peter Pan is a gay man, where Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty rush home before morning like Anne Rice vampires to beat the sunrise of a newly stubbled face. Are you that girl with something extra? Donning lies like garments of illusion, gender bending past confusion, causing heartache contusions, while waiting for that magic carpet ride to carry you across the river to a paradise of believers. Excuse me, miss, do you have this pump in an 11.5? Which takes us into Queer Nation. That's right. I'm just what you expected. I'm the Big Mary your mother warned you about. I'm the fag from hell. I'm the all-up-in-your-face, fruit-of-the-loom magic fairy jock-sniffing joy boy you ran from in high school. The pansy-ass cocksucker with the limp wrist and the lucky lisp. The tie me to a bed and ream my asshole miss thing and pumps to go. That's right, I've got a closet full of flowing frocks and frilly underthings just waiting for an evening out. I'm your gender-fucked, brain-drained, he-she, booty-shaking Nancy boy you've read about. The queer-faced, fancy-pants, pretty. You're afraid to look in the eye, so gasp and breathe. Gasp and breathe and sigh over the nerve of it all. I'm the one, baby. I'm ready to play tag, and guess what? I'm it. I'm the fudge-packing mama with a pocket full of condoms, the pussy boy with the wet lips so hot for the hardness of you, the out-of-the-closet screamer louder than lavender and polka dots on a sunny afternoon, the marching down Main Street card-carrying homo. Sometimes that happens when you're reading a poem. ready to fight for my existence. The freaky deaky mouth organ girl Lena you shield your children from. The don't look, don't ask, don't want to know about it. The mincing, prancing, dancing in the street girly man you look the other way from. The get out of our restaurant, out of our store, out of our school, out of our lives. Go away and don't come back. Another day guy. I'm here, baby. I've arrived. The closet door is wide open and decorated, and I am freer than a canary out of his cage. I'm your weird Uncle Bob, your crazy kissing cousin with the funny eyebrows, with a giggle in his talk and a wiggle in his walk, and I'm here to talk to you and yours. So quit your squawking and get over yourself, 'cause baby, I'm here, I'm queer, so what? The race is on. Where did all the time go? Like yesterday when I was full of the future, laying plans out loud with hope blaring in my ears, dreams of becoming the whole thing, up to here with destiny, a new outfit to wear you and me out. Caught now in the crossfire of change, standing at the entrance to middle age, trying to adjust to the new music I hear now in my inner ear as I step from the mirror to gag at the sight of the rapidly arriving chicken flesh on my hands and crow's feet on my face, protruding middle, a spare tire on the road to the future. No time, no energy to tackle the fate of my ever-changing body, lazy from the freedom of a beautiful youth that showed the promise of forever. The race is on now. The game remains the same. The rules are different than before. The stakes are higher now, from jumping jack flash to flash in the pan. Remember when? How old is old anyway? To lift or not to lift? That's the real question. Pull it taut and tight enough to smile, a seamless smile that reels in the younger men. Going fishing at 50, baiting the hook with collagen injections and a brand new hair weave, running the race against time. What comes first, happiness or running out of skin to stretch? Work to pay Dr. Dreamweaver, help buy his wife a new Cadillac and him a bigger cigar. Great plans for the golden years? Nah. I'd rather just sit and watch the sunset, watch my middle age spread with ease and comfort, and know that the reward is just being alive after all these years. This is called Back Fence. Anxious moments spent watching the front door, dinner tucked safely in the oven, the table set in anticipation, the kids fed and bathed and bedded, and now the roar of his Camaro pulling into the drive signals the alarm of possibility, the possibility of another beating, of another heated argument over nothing, in a marriage where nothing has taken place with meaning for too long, not since the birth of the first one, which was 4.5 ago. Afternoons spent watching soaps and ironing clothes and wishing of other options, other choices that could have been made. You made your bed, now lie in it, Mama always said. Half a life spent hanging over back fences, talking children, talking gossip, talking Sissy Johnson's new boyfriend, talking anything but a way out of this pain. Remember the black eye of Easter last when he beat you for forgetting the egg dye at the 7-Eleven for the kids? You had remembered his Marlboros. Remember the bruised lip and twisted arms, the wrenched back. After that first fall, when it happened the first time, he said he was sorry, that he would never do that to you again. And a week later, he kicked you up the stairs to bed and made it all better with a passionate act of what he calls lovemaking. Let's see. I'm going to end with this piece. It's called My Life as I Remember It. At 2 years old, I whistled at the mailman and set a pattern for years to come. At 4, I danced in the sunshine of our front yard, an interpretive dance to the gods. The neighbors swore I was retarded. At 6, I told my classmates I was from another galaxy, light years away. Mrs. Jackson, our first grade teacher, thought it necessary to alert my parents. By 10, Mr. Grady, the art teacher, was alarmed by the colors I chose to paint with, red, black, and purple. In junior high, I was considered weird and neat at the same time because I dressed funny and my parents had tattoos and Harleys. All written reports from the faculty stated, talks too much and daydreams. Some things never change. I watched the Beatles arrive in America and decided I wanted to go to England. I saw hair grow over ears and down over collars and onto shoulders and backs all over the country. I walked with the first protest march in Washington and every other for 10 years, and we still have crooks running the country. I sat in streets, cafes, corner bars, and coffee houses and listened to the beat of a new generation being born. I went through puberty with Janice and Jimmy and took LSD when it wasn't cut with speed or poison. I smoked pot in 5th grade and laughed all day at a fat substitute teacher named Mrs. Potty. I dated black boys at 15 in an all-white Klan neighborhood. I hitchhiked to New York from Baltimore with 3 queens in hot pants, clogs with long bleached shags at 16, and blew truckers all up and down the turnpike. I've been addicted to LSD, PCP, speed, coke, pot, quaaludes, nicotine, sex, and the mysteries of the night all my life until I hit 28. Since then, it's only nightlife and sex. I've walked barefoot on 2,400-degree hot coals and not been burnt. Greta Garbo grabbed me from behind in traffic and saved my life. I've had green hair, blue hair, black hair, red hair, no hair, long hair, and all before 1973. I'm happy to still have hair. I've walked Sunset Boulevard, Polk Street, 42nd, Hollywood and Vine, Christopher, Fire Island Boulevard, Provincetown, Key West, Bombay, Miami Beach, London, Paris, Rome, Milan, Montreal, and every gay ghetto street listed in the book, and I'm still looking for the perfect lover. I lived as a woman for a solid year and had tits. Thank you. I've dated black men, white men, brown men, red men, yellow men, and several delicious women. I've been engaged, married, in love, divorced, separated, and broken-hearted. I've had syphilis, gonorrhea, crabs, scabies, hemorrhoids, hepatitis, appendicitis, dermatitis, and the flu at least 60 times, and I feel better now at 70 than I did at 25. I've spent the last 11 years meditating, concentrating, contemplating, applicating, educating, investigating, and celebrating a higher ideal. I've been a born-again Christian, a crystal-holding New Age visualizationist, a Buddhist, a Hindu, a Christian Scientist, a Universalist, a bullshit artist, a seeker of truth, a charlatan, a holy roller, a shamanistic dancer, a guru, a disciple, and an enigma to my friends. I'm a triple Gemini natural blonde who loves God and takes time out to smell the roses. I've been around the block at least 10 times and am ready to go again until these feet won't carry me anymore. Sorry, almost finished. I have always believed in the power of love and that the groove lies somewhere between the heart and the genitals. I've never been deliberately cruel, and I've never hit anyone with my fist. I hope I never have to. I've been a whore, a saint, a sinner, a healer, a heathen, an actor, a poet, a drag queen, a straight man, a teenage zombie, a punk rocker, a greaser, a clone, a faggot, a streetwalker, a skywriter, a vegetarian, a teacher, a student, a wanderer, a caretaker, a wild thing, a father, a son, a yogi, and a fierce hairdresser. I've been lost, found, confused, absolved, punished, and rewarded. I've stared death in the face and wondered why not me yet. I've talked and listened and heard and seen and been shown the way. I played follow the leader, pin the tail on the donkey, 5-card stud and Russian roulette with a silver handle 38. I lost $8,000 in cash gambling and won $500 on a bet in less than a minute. I've seen the eye of God and been touched by her hand. I've seen miracles happen and been disappointed dozens of times. I've been almost everywhere, met almost everyone, seen almost everything, done almost all of it, and I'm still waiting to be discovered. The night has 1,000 eyes, and I'm a gypsy dancer who's still hungry for more. Thank you.